Very apt for a video on reflux. This one's just been sick everywhere. Are you going to behave? Can I keep you here? Main reason for having Luna in this video is she hides my fat stomach. Very handy. Are you okay? Oh, hello. You say hello to everyone. Let's see how this goes. So, Luna is now 8 weeks old. I haven't really been able to do any videos on this channel because we have been living in the hell that is silent reflux. If you follow me on Instagram, we're also JK and Charlie on Instagram as well. I've talked a lot about it on there, and out of all the things I've talked about on social media or on this channel or on my blog, I've had so many people get in touch with me, so many mums who think that their child might also be going through silent reflux or is going through it and is really struggling to cope. So I thought I'd do a little video. Daddy! Right, Jay has Luna now, so I can concentrate. So silent reflux, we had it with our first baby, Noah. It was one of those things, when he was a baby, I genuinely just thought that was motherhood. The hell that I was going through with a baby that cried like 23 hours a day. I thought that was normal until I sort of started looking up some symptoms and talking to a health visitor who was like, this isn't normal. So we've been through it before. I naively thought, oh, I won't have another baby that's got silent reflux. If anything, I think Luna has been worse than Noah was. So that's 2 babies. So I'm kind of quite familiar with what it's all about, but you know, I find myself needing advice as much as the next person because it is just really, really horrible. So if I go through some of the symptoms that both Noah and Luna have had, the main one is pain. Now, all babies get pain. They get wind, they get trap wind, colic, they're quite sicky, but this is just another level of pain, and I can't, unless you see it, it's really hard to understand. So I'm going to insert some little clips I've taken of Luna screaming. I haven't just done this to be barbaric for the sake of a video. I've actually recorded these to show to a paediatrician so they can see what's going on with her.
Okay.
But yeah, hers started about 3 weeks old. So for the first 3 weeks of life, she was really calm, slept well, fed well, and I thought, I'm in for an easy baby. And then I think she turned 3 weeks and everything changed. Now, she was 4 weeks early as well. Refluxy issues can be more prevalent in smaller and early babies because their digestive system is not very mature. So this has definitely played a part in it. But pain is a major one. Pain during feeding, pain after feeding, pain all day and all night really, which is just horrendous. She also gets these really crazy hiccups. Hiccups can be really cute in a baby, but when they're painful hiccups, it's like every time she hiccups, she is in agony. And because what silent reflux is, it's literally acid coming out of the stomach and up into the throat. So it's burning the poor baby's esophagus. It is different to reflux just by itself, which is milk coming back up. She does do that as well, but not nearly as much. So hers is definitely the silent variety, which can be harder to diagnose. Other symptoms that we have had with both babies: choking during feeds. Now this can also be, you know, if you've got a fast letdown if you're breastfeeding, or just they're choking on their bottle, for example. But this is kind of a choking and a spluttering because she's got acid coming into her mouth while she's feeding. And then she will arch her back while feeding because she's literally in agony as the milk is hitting her stomach, and it is just heartbreaking to watch. Other symptoms: not being able to be put down on her back at all. Noah was exactly the same. He didn't sleep through the night till he was 15 months. I think a lot of it was this issue with lying down. Other symptoms, I've written some down on my phone. Yeah, sometimes I can literally see the acid coming up in her mouth, and you can smell it as well. It's a very distinctive smell. It literally smells like acid. And she'll kind of be bringing stuff up that isn't milk. It's kind of salivary. And that is the acid reflux. And she'll do that and she'll make a face. Like, it obviously tastes disgusting, and then she'll scream. But I mean, the worst thing for us recently has been the pain that she's in, and seeing your baby scream like all night long, and I mean all night, and there's nothing you can do to settle them, is literally heartbreaking. And it has a massive impact on the whole family, because neither of us have been getting any sleep. Last night actually was better. The last couple of nights have been better, so long may it continue. But we had one night where I only got 90 minutes sleep all night, and the next night I only got 2 hours, which actually is probably quite good considering, but it's kind of a broken 2 hours, maybe 20 minutes here, 10 minutes there. And she was literally just inconsolable, and it is utterly heartbreaking. So we've been back and forth to the doctors ever since this started at week 3 in terms of treatments and things, because this is a lot of what people ask me when they get in touch on Instagram. Treatments. The first treatment that a doctor will typically give you for a baby with silent reflux is Gaviscon. So we're all familiar with Gaviscon. A lot of us, I took it in pregnancy. This is the infant Gaviscon. Now, the idea of this is it just thickens up the milk that's in their stomach. It's quite tricky if you're exclusively breastfeeding. Luckily, I've been pumping since day 1, so she does take a bottle. But I remember with Noah, that wasn't the case. And so you're suddenly trying to get this Gaviscon into a baby that is breastfed, which is really, really hard. Oh, excuse me. So yeah, we were told to give this to Luna 6 times a day. Now trying to get that into her 6 times a day, as well as feeds, as well as looking after another child, expressing and sterilising on top of breastfeeding 6 times a day was impossible. So, and it wasn't really working. So after a few days, we went back to the doctors. I can hear her crying. Went back to the doctors and asked for Ranitidine, which is a solution like this, comes in a bottle like this. Noah had this and it worked amazingly for Noah, so we knew we wanted it, but went back to the doctors and she was too small and too young for them to prescribe it, so we were then referred to a paediatrician at the hospital who did prescribe it. We started on the Ranitidine and things got a whole lot better, but then after about 2 weeks it's like it stopped working and it got worse, and even worse than it had been before, so went back to the GP. We now find ourselves at a stage where we're waiting for a referral to a paediatrician. There is one more drug I believe that they can prescribe, which is called omeprazole, which is stronger, but also a paediatrician is going to want to sort of find out if there's any other underlying problems. There are other options. Stop breastfeeding is one, and put her onto like a dairy-free special formula, which is sort of thicker, so things don't come up as easy. I said to the doctor, I'm not up for that idea. I want to keep breastfeeding because I think, there's still a huge range of benefits to breastfeeding, even if it's not great at the moment. So we're not going to go down that road. So I am trialling a dairy-free diet, which, oh my God, I thought it would be really easy. I'm so naive. I've been vegetarian my whole life. So I thought, yeah, I could be vegan. Because I thought I just don't have to. I don't drink milk anyway. I drink almond milk or soy milk. I've done that for years. I just thought it was cutting out cheese and chocolate, but turns out dairy is in everything. So I'm finding that quite hard. I'm only 5 days into it, so it's all very new. I've also cut out soya as well. I joined a Facebook group online. I'll leave a link actually. It's like a closed group, lots of support to do with reflux and silent reflux, and apparently babies who are intolerant to dairy are very often intolerant to soya as well. So then trying to be vegetarian, cutting out dairy and soya, is really hard. Put it this way, I'm really hungry at the moment. So I've also been referred to a dietitian as well by the doctors, because that's important that obviously I have a good diet because I'm feeding her. I have discovered Ocado. Lots of people recommended Ocado to me. They have a huge vegan range, way more than Tesco or Sainsbury's or anyone. So I've done my first Ocado online shop. It arrives tomorrow and I can't wait. So it's loads of stuff like, dairy-free and soy-free chocolates and drinks and puddings and cheeses. They're a bit gross. Meals, biscuits, crisps, anything, bread. So that arrives tomorrow. I don't really know if there's anything else to say at the moment other than this is just the life we're living. As I say, the last 2 nights she has been better because we've given her 1 bottle before she goes to bed, of my milk, but with Gaviscon in it. So not trying to do the Gaviscon 6 days a week, 6 times a day even, just doing it the once, and it seems to have really helped. And last night I think I got about 5.5 hours sleep, which for me is amazing. So that's where we're at. I'm going to do the dairy-free thing for 6 weeks, because it takes 6 weeks to leave mine and her system. It's not something you can do overnight. So I will do a kind of a day in the life, what I eat in a day dairy-free, once I've kind of got myself up and running, because I know it's really hard if you're thinking of doing it. That's all I've got to say, really. If you're going through it, I'm really sorry. It is awful. I will leave some links, some helpful links below, and yeah, I guess I will update in a few weeks to let you know how we're getting on. Thank you for watching.